Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I'm Ryan. With me is
Drago.
Go Power Podcast attention.
And the little king, I'm back, I'm better than ever, and holy shit did I come in at a good time this time.
welcome to a very special podcast. We are talking about Power Rangers Beast Morphers.
Y'all didn't expect this, huh?
We're looking at making this third weekly podcast entry. So this is a very interesting one to start on because Saban skipped over Go Busters with the localization and went straight to Kyoryuger. But now that Hasbro has purchased the rights, they decided to go back and do that one that was skipped. I didn't watch Dino Charge, but I heard that they were going to incorporate elements of Go Busters into it to make up for not localizing that series. Those of
They
you that
tried, but they were working with a lot of stuff from Kyoryuger already. It was just way too much for what they had to work with.
so they kind of like gave up.
They had to at that point, to be honest, because Kyoryuger in itself is a really freaking big show to adapt, let alone adding any of the Go Buster stuff in.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. It got so large that they had to scrap the plans for doing the adapting Kyoryu. What do you call it? The Dark Ryuja from Kyoryuja.
Still say that was a wasted opportunity, but thankfully the comics
Yeah.
are banking on that. So, no harm, no foul.
Also, after what happened with Megaforce and Super Megaforce, anyone who adapts Power Rangers should think twice about trying to combine two different seasons of Sentai into one.
Yeah, no shit. Especially after the whole Rangers from an Unseen Universe debacle. I'm sure all of us know that one.
I have seen the clips.
And how do you feel about Hasbro going back to this one that was skipped over on instead of like just continuing forward with from where the Saban left off?
Thrilled. Absolutely thrilled.
Okay. For me, I'm two things I'm worried about is that one, the monster suit it seems are already done, like they're already damaged completely of Go Busters, and even the Ranger suits were damaged, so they had to build both from scratch. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be mostly original footage or like how are they gonna incorporate the Sentai footage into the show because one of the characters in the Sentai has a different coloring than the one in the Ranger. This counterpart in the Ranger show has a different coloring than the one in the Sentai. Like in the Sentai, the one of the suit is purple and this suit is yellow.
Oh, Roxy! Yeah, I forgot about that. But honestly, I think it works for what they're going for.
Yeah, it does work, but I'm talking about like footage, like when they're bringing over the footage, or maybe they are not. Maybe it's mostly going to be original footage for this season. So we have to see about that.
Yeah, I suppose.
I wouldn't be surprised if they use original footage, given that this first episode is completely original footage, which I'm
So
fine with.
awesome.
Well, like with the introduction of Dark Buster and Escape as opening enemies, I'm expecting like quite a bit of unique footage here and there. With
Not to mention a slew of different potential for character and plotline stuff.
Definitely.
Sorry,
Oh.
go on.
No, it's okay. I was just saying, like, I haven't seen Go Busters, so I wouldn't have to guess, like, what Sentai footage.
Honestly, there's not a lot that they can't use.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh,
Hell, they can even use the Zord footage!
yeah, they like have complete access to mech footage.
And the tower, like, Enetron / Morphex tower / Battle Grid headquarters look precisely the same, and it's very nice.
Well,
And I
yeah,
like how
that
they're
was a
like,
really nice
Yeah,
detail to
yeah.
justify it.
yes. Plus, they're like, here's the transport thing, and I'm like, yes, that will work very nicely later. I like that you mentioned that now.
And oh my freaking god, I mean, there's just so much to gush over in one episode. I don't even know where to start, really.
Well, why don't we start at the beginning? At the youth bar, the youth center, rather, that they have.
Best
Uh,
representation of Ernie's yet.
yeah, honestly. So we open up at a youth center where there's a karate class going on, like the very same way that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers opened up, basically. And just so far, this show is already doing a better job paying homage than Megaforce did.
That's nice.
I'm sorry, I haven't learned the characters' names yet.
It's Devin, Roxy, and Blaze and Ravi, I guess. Yeah, they're the 4 characters present in the opening.
Right, okay, so Devin gets into a bit of a fight with Blaze because he's listening to music during the karate class, and Blaze, like, legitimately almost kicks him up in the side of the head. So the two get into a bit of a sparring match, which very much foreshadows Devin as Red Buster. Like, he even does the cross thing that Red Buster does. I even like thought to myself during the fights, like, are they foreshadowing Blaze as Dark Buster? Maybe I'm overthinking that part.
Nope.
Before Devin's dad, the mayor comes in and yells at him for doing karate instead of a job interview. Honestly, I just like the way it opens up to it, like, pays homage to the original while still doing its own unique thing. I think this was a good start.
I really liked action choreography in this entire scene because it was all but excellent as far as action goes, and you could even see the characters' face. Like it felt like the characters themselves were fighting instead of stunt double, and also that the acting of the two characters that are present here, Devin and Blaze, were great. And I don't know, this entire thing actually feels like, what if Jason was a complete asshole. That's what came off from Blaze, and considering he is a candidate for the Red Ranger, yeah, it kind of fits.
True.
I love how they have the setting, like, as I said, I'm relatively new to Power Rangers, but my first reaction was, they have a juice bar! I know in the original series they had a juice bar. Also, everyone can actually act very well and do stunts equally well, and it's very nice. Also, like, I'll mention it here that I like Devin's dad. He's not a jerk. He genuinely wants the best for his son while also being a responsible mayor. So I'm like, yay, a good parent figure. I like this.
Yeah, I did like the mayor a little bit, but he did kind of throw a bit of a dumbass shade for me when he said he was talking about how you're good at video games and karate, you're never gonna get anywhere with those. Bullshit!
Like, it's 2019, dude.
Come on! And
Even
considering what he's going to do
Esports
with
exist.
energy sources, how the fuck is that valid? Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, most of what I want to say has been said about this. The fight scene is awesome. It's jam packed with interesting moves. Not a single move is wasted. You sense the differences in fighting styles and the professionality in both of them. One's very much a brute in his fighting style, which obviously is gonna come in handy a bit later. And the other has a bit more skill, a bit more flow to it. He might not be as strong, but he knows what he's doing. And I love the fact that the lower rank guy beats the black belt. I freaking love that. Devin is an absolute treat to watch. I love just whenever he's on screen, I'm happy. And Blaze, of course, they're gonna foreshadow him as later. But for what we got of him for now, yeah, he is. I think the only characteristic I've gotten out of him, even with all the backstory stuff we've gotten so far, is Dick. So, way to put that front and center. But yeah, I mean, it's not even 5 minutes in, and I'm already in love with this.
The funny thing about this show is that a responsible father figure in Toku. When have we
You're
seen
begging for a miracle there.
Wow, that hardly ever happens.
You're begging for a fucking miracle over there.
As I said before, in like most Toku, but Kamen Rider in particular, all father figures must either be dead, absent, evil, or comic relief, no exceptions.
Or sometimes all of the above.
Remember that time
Ooh.
RPM Yellow's mother tried getting her to quit being one of the few protectors of the last remnants of humanity so she could get married?
Her dad was right alongside her.
Wait,
Yeah.
shoot, I think I saw the summary for that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, in RPM, like, they are the last remnants of humanity, like, in one just big city in what used to be Australia. And Yellow is one of the few rangers that are protecting the city from the evil machines, and her mother is trying to get her to quit protecting all of humanity to get married.
So that they can
Just
keep the
wants
wealth and the
grandkids
appearances.
That much. Screw the rest of the planet.
I love that one because Dr. K gets a badass moment.
So, Devin and his dad in the limo ride. Yeah, big talk about how Devin's not gonna make anything of himself, knowing karate and how to play video games. Ha! Where has anyone who knew how to karate gone anywhere in Power Rangers?
In real life, I can say Steven Seagal earns $20 million every year. So
there you go, Mr. Mayor.
This is only a couple levels of Power Rangers down below. Don't worry, there's no such thing as monsters.
Yep.
Oh god, he doesn't even say that. What he says is way worse. So Mayor drops himself off at Grid Battle Force, which is developing Morph X, which is basically the morphing grid. They are tapping into it as an energy substance, which is really cool because it's obviously playing off of Enetron from Go Busters, and they used Enetron to fight and such, so this is just super appropriate and in-universe with Power Rangers. And Drago, didn't you say something about physical morphing grid in the comics?
basically in here, like we see Morphin Grid liquidized to make Morph X. But in the comics, however, we just recently found out that Morphin Grid has a physical can be this is actually physical forms of Morphin Grid, like the Zeo Crystal and there's something called the Solarix, which is really interesting.
But no spoilers on Solarix.
Yeah, I'm not spoiling anything about that.
So, when the mayor walks in and, tries to go through the not registration, but like the entrance booth, he he is stopped by uh, what are their names?
Ben and Betty, I think.
Wait, yeah, Ben and Betty.
Ben and
Unless
Betty.
Ben
I'm
and
wrong.
Betty. The King. Do you want to say it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Ben and Betty are basically the bulk and skull of the series.
Okay, I'll let you guys say.
So
Except they're not bullies or like bad people.
No.
They're just goofballs.
they're
Thankfully.
like they're like season 3 bulk and skull, where they try being good guys, but they're still incompetent at everything they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
For example, the mayor shows his ID badge, and Betty says, "Well, this looks like you." And she and Ben proceed to try scanning his eyes for a confirmation ID, not even realizing that this is the mayor.
Maybe they're new hires, I don't know, but after like that whole rigmarole, I'm like, how are you not fired right
After
now?
that, I'm wondering how they were hired.
Yeah. Maybe
okay,
someone had money.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, do any of you know your mayors?
No, what?
Do you guys know your own mayors?
Oh,
Oh.
No, but I've said
Apparently
hi
not.
to the governor a couple times.
Yeah, so...
way to make us look like
I-
hypocrites, Drago.
I didn't say nothing. Don't look at me.
I've never met. Well, I'm in a town, so I don't have a mayor, but I've never met the mayor of closest city near me.
I didn't tag me into this. Yeah, but I know there are a couple of complaints here and there about the two, and I do like the analogy I gave of season 3 Bulk and Skull. It's accurate, and they are trying. And I know. Okay, Saban was not helping the writing at all with Neo Saban era.
Oh,
Dino
God.
Charge got lucky. So
Okay, I'm gonna say Dino Charge only got lucky because Saban was busy with the movie.
true. But the point is, it was. But now we can clearly see that these writers are competent.
Honestly, with what little I watched of Samurai, I just felt bad for Bulk and Spike in that show just altogether. Like, no, this isn't right.
With all that being said, I know there's still apprehension for comic relief characters like Ben and Betty, especially after Victor and Monty. I will spare all of you the grief, but I think we all know what I'm talking about when I bring up those two. That is yeah, that's one of the instances where I honestly feel sorry for the actors that they had to go through that.
Which
Neither of
season
them
were
deserve
Victor
that
and
kind of
Monty
hate.
from?
Neither of them.
Ninja
But-
Steel?
We don't like talking about that. But seeing as we do have competency in the writing now, we've got a lot of great potential. I'm willing to give these two a chance. And who knows? They might pull out some really good moments. Lord knows Bulk and Skull have had good moments in their time too. For those of you who haven't seen Mighty Morphin, check out When is a Ranger Not a Ranger? Mighty Morphin Season 2. I highly recommend it. It's one of the better episodes.
Is that the Amnesia
And
one?
it's a great Bulk and Skull moment. It proves that there can be good moments for comic relief. I'm hoping these guys can have that.
I would also even in Dino Thunder there was Agent Cassidy.
I recognize
Yeah.
the names, but I can't put faces to them.
Valley Girl
they-
and her tech geek.
Oh, yeah!
Mm.
Works like a charm.
Oh, wow, that worked!
I that season like the back of my hand. It ain't that hard.
I really like them actually, and they were really good spins on the Bulk and Skull archetype. So I really am hoping that these guys are like them. And from what I see, these guys are competent actors as
Yeah.
far as like acting goes, and I do find them funny.
Considering
And
the type of humor we got last year, yeah, they're hilarious in comparison.
yeah, and also the thing that I really enjoyed in this is that they are actually serving a purpose. Like because they were distracting the mayor, by accident, Devin got in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he took a photo
So
of the badge and snuck it
Yeah.
in.
I was wondering, like,
Yeah, and
how
I'm
is a
like, that
photo
is
of the badge gonna work? But the way the scanner works is like, yeah, okay, that works.
great
long as it's
security,
got the retina.
guys.
They should actually downgrade to a slide scanner.
yeah, I think this is the result of making it high tech.
Well,
uh,
when you spend all your budget on Morphex technology, you gotta cut pennies somewhere.
Um, so the mayor is rescued from Ben and Betty by laundry girl Zoe, who totally isn't the Yellow Ranger.
Haha, why would you even say that? Even though we've already
Go
seen
on.
her
Like,
in
not e-
Mute.
I didn't even get to like that part where like it clearly shows that she's the Yellow Ranger. I was just watching the scene going, she's the yellow, isn't she? Uh,
Wait, shoot, I'm forgetting. Does she wear a yellow shirt?
no, she
No.
wears more of a tan like like
her
I'm a
uniform.
janitor uniform.
Okay.
Not janitor, laundry girl. There's a difference.
Right, but I'm saying it's kind of like a janitor uniform to describe
Fair
it.
enough. Fair enough.
Uh, so the mayor meets Dr. Shaw, who is the head. I think she's like the head of Grid Battle Force. Who,
Commander.
yeah, who takes him around, introduces him to Nate, the tech guy, basically, who's directly working with Morphex.
And Billy equivalent.
Yeah, pretty much. And the mayor expresses his concerns about tapping into the morphing grid as a renewable energy source, referencing past Power Ranger villains that have been a problem. Saying, like, hey, if another villain like them comes along for the morphing grid, we're not going to be able to stop them. To which Dr. Shaw says, follow me. And introduces him to the room. She brings him to another room where basically she is training Power Rangers that will be able to protect the Morphex should a threat ever arise, and even has 3 candidates picked out. Meanwhile, Devin, posing as a scientist, accidentallys his way into that very room.
yeah, I really like the commander. I think she had a lot of presence in the as far as an actor goes, and she feels very competent as far in appearance at least. And also, I really like Zoe as a person, and her personality is really shines through in the episode when she's talking to the mayor. And I also like the for he's not like a complete like I am a mayor. I'm like a robot person. I don't have feelings. I only care about one thing. That's my job and my son. It's not that kind of that kind of a role, which I think if this was Neo Saban, I think that would have been the case. But again, but here the actor who plays the mayor does a good job, and it shows that he is not like the it's not a cheesy stereotype of, and is actually a person, which I did enjoy. And even the Yellow Ranger was really great. I really like the way that I really like the way Devon speaks. Also, the fact that the mayor is actually showing concerns about the morphing grid, like being there. Which, and Nate, I don't know, he doesn't feel like Billy, but more like Dr. K, with like being a
Yeah,
bit young in
yeah.
appearance, and yeah.
Yeah, I liked how like everything went. I liked how everyone has relatable concerns and they take their time setting up everything. Also, I love both the commander and Zoe, and I love how go-getting and practical Zoe is. I'm like, she's like, I solve big problems. I'm like, yes, I like you. You're gonna be a good Yellow Ranger eventually. Also, I like Devin just kind of sneaks in. He's like, I want to see the battle simulator, and then just happens to get into the room and hides. It's just really well set. One really well set up scene after another that just builds on each other, and it's great.
When oh
Okay, where do I start? Oh, I'm sorry, right? Did you?
no, you talk.
Yay! Okay. For starters, Zoe. I adore her so much. She's peppy, she's energetic, she makes her presence known. She's everything the mayor wants in Devon, and I love that. I love how, like Drago was saying earlier, he's not a stereotype. He's got doubts. He has, he's opposing sometimes. He's relatable. And I love how he instantly takes a shine to Zoe because she's everything that he wants to see in Devon. And I love that she's got so many ideas circling through her head. And the whole, like when she was talking about how she has ideas for Morphex, like, I want to make a Morphex powered bike. The synopsis for episode 3, Morphex powered bike. They're already foreshadowing future episodes. That is amazing. Commander Shaw. Again, I adore. It feels so good to have another female mentor. Like, farthest back I can think of that we had that besides Dr. K was Udana. So from 2009 and 2006, that's not a lot of female mentors, so I'm glad that they're stepping forward with Shaw. And for what we're getting with her later, oh my god, I'll get to that when we get there. But I love, like you guys were saying, I loved how they're building everything up about how they're gonna add in certain features and functions that tie into the Sentai footage, how we're changing and adapting some of it to our own preference for the, all that. Nate, okay. He was somebody I wasn't really keeping on my radar until now. Like Drago said earlier, he's, more Dr. K than Billy. I would honestly say he's a combination of the two. Because he's Dr. K in that he's the child prodigy who made all the technology, and he might even have something to do with Evox and all that, but we'll get there later. But he's also, I see Billy in that he's a kid. He's still, has to be at least 15 at most, if not younger. And he's acting like a kid. You see the actor light up when he talks about his invention, these toys he's made, technically. He's so proud of everything he's doing. And when you see the mayor just, kind of breaking him down because he's trying to be a little bit more realistic with all of this, I'll get to that in a minute. Just seeing Nate react the way he does. He's still a genius, don't get me wrong, but he's also still a kid. And I want to say that I'll compromise and say he's probably at least 16. They talked about how he joined the area, grid battle force when he was 6. If we wind the clock back 10 years ago in the Power Rangers timeline, that would mean he's 6 in 2010, 2009, that 2-year period. Technically, in the main universe for Power Rangers, right. 2009 was RPM, and, well, I don't know how many people know about what happened in 2010, but that was a thing. But essentially, that was technically a 2-year gap between Ranger teams in the main universe. that would have given him the perfect opportunity to join Grid Battle Force when he was 6. I mean, that's a stable 2-year period for him to study, get his research done, and see if he can start building into that. And when he's 10, that's 6 years later, that's when he starts finally cracking down on making Morph-X and pulling it out of the morphing grid. Which, if I'm getting my numbers right, that should be a legendary battle. Now I know most of us don't like talking about that, but think about it. Logically speaking, that would be a massive spike in the morphing grid. Enough that maybe Nate was able to finally get the push he needed to get the breakthrough and finally create Morph-X, because there was such a high spike in the morphing grid with that battle that he finally was able to get the push and make it physical and finally create Morph-X. So I love that even if you don't look into all that stuff, there's continuity jabs in there that you can find if you look for them. And that's all in one character. Oh my god. And just as an add-on thing, again, I loved how the mayor actually was sensible. I know some people are saying that it's weird that he knew about Sledge and Galvanax, but I'm just taking the Christmas special from last year as how he knows about Sledge, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But if it means that they know about the alternate dimensions thing, like maybe they've, I don't know, maybe worked with Time Force or something, again, that'd be fucking amazing, and I'd love that. So yeah, I've pretty much used up half of my voice, and I'm gonna shut up now because y'all probably got other stuff to say.
I mean, hey, this is why we're here. Also, I completely agree with how these characters are multi-dimensional, not just one-dimensional stereotypes or caricatures. It is really relieving to see them well written with personality and not just like statements. The mayor is curious to meet the Power Ranger team, or the 2B team rather, but Commander Shaw is not willing to reveal their identities to the general public, including the mayor. I mean, that is a standard Power Ranger trope where their identities are a secret. So after the mayor leaves the room and the Rangers are wakened up, Devin finds out that it's Blaze and a couple others from the youth center. Devin then sees something in the Morph-X, something like slide through the computer. He tries warning Dr. Shaw about a virus, but realizing that he's not supposed to be there, she has him locked up and then tells Nate to run a full search. Meanwhile, Ravi, the blue 2B, and Roxy, the yellow 2B, have a little conversation about their past relationship. Rangers don't date Rangers, apparently. So any on that development so far?
Well, I did like the, what do you call it? I think this is like the sixth phase of Evolved's plan. This is where he must have landed after getting destroyed by Kiryu Center at the end of build. So yeah, so our Evox is being searched on. Well, yeah, okay, fine. Let me get my thoughts together. Yeah, I really like the fact that the commander actually listened to the Red Ranger. Like, even if even if he doesn't believe him, even if she doesn't believe him, she's actually asking the person to run a check in case he's telling the truth, which even in one of the most competent commanders in Power Rangers haven't done that. I don't think they have done that kind of thing in Sentai either. So this shows that she's willing to give the benefit of the doubt to people, and also is smart. which I really like. Also, I like that the fact that you're actually establishing like relationship between two rangers, and the rule maybe, yeah, I know the rule is stupid if you look at Power Rangers history, and they also call out that this is dumb. But considering it must be a rule of Grid Battle Force and not Power Rangers, because they have no idea who other Power Rangers are in the first place, unless their identities have been public, like Lightspeed Rescue. So yeah, this is actually, I do think this is a good development, and it can go really well in later episodes, because if we have seen Go Busters, the Blue Ranger and Escape have a lot of good battles in the in that show. So it is a nice setup for the eventual Sentai footage they could use.
I agree with what Drago said, that like once he was Devin was caught and said, I saw something in the Morphex, it could have easily been like, nah, just lock him up, he's crazy, just pretend like nothing, he must be lying. But she was like, no, this guy, even though he's trespassing, might have seen something we didn't. So I really liked that. It wasn't what I was expecting, and I liked it. Also, yes, that rule is like Rangers don't date Rangers is stupid, but it is also probably a rule of Grid Battle Force. It's like, no, you're here to protect Grid Battle Force, and that's it. Like, if you're in a relationship, that'll get in the way, which is also dumb in its own ways, but they probably haven't met any other Rangers, at least personally. They are like, this feels like the most efficient way to address this issue that might come up. So even though it's dumb, that's what they. Commander Shaw seems like a get the job done kind of person, so this is what she feels will get the job done, so even though it's a dumb rule.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left to be said about that part. I mean, Commander Shaw is competent. She understands the situation, and she lays it out in front of her. She makes a decision based on what's best for her team and her, her Grid Battle Force, which is awesome and decent writing. I love that. And I mean, saying yes, it is a stupid rule. I didn't look at it from the perspective of, oh, it's a rule from Grid Battle Force, that's it. I saw it from a perspective because Roxy, of course, does want to be with Ravi, it seems like. And I hadn't even thought about the Sentai footage. Good call on that, Drago. But I saw it from the perspective of, this is Ravi as a person, not Grid Battle Force talking through Ravi. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't more than Roxy does. It's very clear in that. But it seems more like he doesn't seem very. I think he's willing to necessary, but this feels very much like he's. Well, I can't
Like,
about that because of later, but I'll wait until the end to really say my piece on that. For now, at least, I see it from the perspective of Robbie may not wants to at least stick to the rules of the Grid Battle Force for now.
yeah, I feel like I could believe if Ravi was the one himself trying to like separate himself from hers, because what they're doing is dangerous, and if anything happens, he would feel less hurt if he wasn't continuing to like be in a relationship with her. If it was his own decision and not just like a rule. So the mayor gives a speech outside, pretty much giving the okay for Grid Battle Force. The Rangers inside the building step up to the DNA transfer machine that will infuse them with the DNA of different animals to give them their ranger abilities. Nate didn't find any viruses in his search, so he starts up the process. And then the virus attacks. A Cobra-like virus named Evox, who is not at all reminiscent of Evolt from Build. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or Vengex.
Nate tries shutting down the process, but he's unable to. The entire building is put into like a red alert and told to evacuate. At first, Zoe starts to evacuate too, but takes a deep breath and goes, "No, I should help. I run away from problems, I solve them." Inspired, Ben and Betty also turn to head back and help out, and find themselves at the bottom of a laundry cart.
Okay.
We've had worse. We've had worse.
I would say I actually laughed at that. I don't know if my choice in comedy is bad or is it just or why it just funny.
I consider it a rebound period. Considering how
Okay.
shit the comic relief has been as of late.
At least they're trying. They get a
Yeah.
"you tried" sticker.
They're definitely trying the kind of slapstick Bulk and Skull comedy.
I don't know. I think it actually worked, but again, my taste in comedy might be really bad.
I honestly don't remember if I laughed at it or not.
To be fair, this felt a lot more natural, like it's in their bumbling nature, rather than it feeling forced just to get a cheap laugh.
Right.
Victor and Monty.
Okay,
Okay.
theirs was forced, come on.
Who?
Last season.
Oh.
Last season was terrible.
As
Okay.
if you haven't said that enough.
I'm talking about the comic relief. Yeah, but I really like the comic relief. I think I like the comic relief. More than that, I like the comic relief later with the Rangers, where so who are you supposed to be? Laundry girl. And then the Yellow Ranger asks Zoe asks Devin, who is he supposed to be? And he said just trespassing, and that got more laugh out of me.
That was a better
I was
joke.
dying.
I like that.
I was
Yeah.
I just
dying.
oh,
Oh my
okay.
god. Yeah,
And,
I'm trying to post that right now.
And also the explanation to why the Red Ranger suit looks more like a ranger and the Yellow Ranger suit looks more like a monster or the incomplete suit is also really nice because if you pay close attention to the screen, there was like the graph or like percentage meter where the Red Ranger was 100% and Yellow Ranger was 94%. So you can see that the 100%, so the 100% gets the proper suit, and the 94% didn't get the proper suit, which I think it was a nice touch. That only comes up if you pay close attention. So, and I had to literally pause the episode to actually see that. And someone else told me that was a thing, which
Damn.
which is interesting. And I did the get like we didn't see the main villain of the show completely. We just saw the silhouette of the snakes, which I do like because in previous season, even in the best seasons, what we have seen is we already get to know the main villain and him being menacing or threatening, and us knowing their plans, like us knowing everything about them right from this. I'm talking about everything like that's outwardly appearance about them right from the start, which we don't see it in this season, which I really do like. And other than that, yeah, I have nothing much to say.
I don't have nothing. I don't have much to add. I like the scenes. I liked Zoe being proactive. I did not catch that thing you mentioned, Drago. That's very interesting. I might have to
Yeah, nice
pause
catch, man.
that.
I
It's
was
really
just
cool.
looking for it. Like, you really have to time that.
Damn, timestamp that. But yeah, not really much else I can say that isn't beating a dead horse. So yeah, I had fun with it.
Uh, so, Blaze and Roxy, their bodies collapse as in their place are new ones generated with their evil suits. I guess we can call them forming over them. Blaze basically becomes Darkbuster, and Roxy becomes the gold-colored Escape, which actually was a really good use of the suit and those two characters. Which made me wonder, so what are they doing for Blue? Well, Devin and Zahui managed to jump into the room before the door seals and shoot the last two before Blue can be generated. So Ravi is freed. And then we get this, like, just this big fight around the lab as the three of them try to fight on, and Nate try to fight off, like, the two invaders, resulting in Devon, Zoe, and Ravi getting knocked back into the morph machine as they become the Power Rangers. And with their new powers, they are much easier able to fight back. Devon is the Red Ranger, Zoe's the Yellow Ranger, and Ravi is the Blue Ranger, as was the intention for him. One thing I glossed over earlier was Nate showing the mayor, like, some of the technology that he developed for the Rangers, including a teleportation system. And they get the idea to use that on Blaze and Roxy to send them far away. So, all of that.
Oh boy, there's a lot to go through.
Take your time.
Okay, basically, they basically had one of the best, what do you call it, out of suit fight scene I have seen in the few years. I know. Yeah. Well, I forgot about Garo. Garo's out of suits fight scenes are excellent. But yeah, this is in Power Rangers and in the Super Sentai and in Rider. This is like one of the best out of suit fight scenes I've seen, because the way they like take, what do you call it, the drop kicks and the jumps and using objects to hit the opponents and trying to survive rather than rather than attack, and they also show that the all the rangers are competent enough to be rangers, and also we know why they're competent. They're not regular people who automatically know how to fight after they know they are a power. These are people who have trained to fight. Like the Blue Rangers, we know is a black belt. The Red Ranger is a Red Ranger we saw in the first scene kicking ass of the Blaze, kicking ass of Blaze, and the Yellow Ranger was said to be that she was actually training for to be a ranger, but she got cut off, which I really liked, because and we also see that the Blue Ranger is the most competent at fighting, and then the red, and then the yellow, in this entire fight scene. So we know about them more using this fight scene compared to many other seasons, even good seasons, that we don't get to learn about people's personalities through their fight scenes, and which I really enjoy. The director did a really good job. I also liked how Nate uses the intelligence to drop the thing and immediately transform them into Rangers, and also the Rangers don't immediately win. They try to stall the fight and use the teleportation to teleport the two evil Rangers, I guess, to other dimension, or wherever they send them. which I really liked in this episode. Like the fight scenes itself, even out of suit, whether in suit, in that limited space, they did a really good job. Uh, and it's a good thing that they set up the teleportation thing way in advance so that they can use it now and in the future episodes. And that is neat, in my opinion. And I also like the transforming tornado thing. It is compared. I don't know. I was never a fan of the morphin sequence like in Sentai or in Power Rangers, like where they go to they show a clip and then they transform in using the stock footage. I like the thing that it's a dynamic transformation where they transform immediately using like tornado thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Even though I'd seen the clip before it came out when they did the preview, I was so happy to see the whole fight again, and it's just really good, showing who's good at like fighting and who isn't. Like Zoe isn't trained to fight at all, but she's quick on her feet and agile, so that'll come in handy. It was just a really good fight scene, and I loved every bit of it. And like Nate taking the opportunity to make them rangers, plus later the quick thinking, like, okay, we use this technology, we send them to another dimension so we can buy a bit of time. All of it was really, really good.
Yeah, holy this was okay. Put all the critiquing stuff aside. Put aside how good the choreography was. Put aside how amazing it was that the personalities of every fighter, good and bad, shone through in their fighting styles. This is fun! You're rooting for the fight of what the evil ones are gonna do next. You're worried that Nate's probably gonna get caught in the crossfire. So many things are happening at once. And you just, oh my god, I was losing my mind over this. I've watched that dozen times already, and I'm probably gonna watch it again after this, but it's just, you see so much of it in their characters. Like you guys were saying, Zoe is, she's a competent fighter, not to the level of Ravi or even Devin, of course, but she's using the environment to her advantage. She's shoving carts out of the way, she's spinning stuff around, she's jumping up everywhere so she can get a higher vantage point. Ravi, he's using a bit more brute strength, but he's also thinking strategically. And Devin, he's strong, of course. He's holding his own, but he's a lot more instinctive. You can see that. Like, he's got split second. He's trying to keep up with everything that's going on. Nate, jumping in at the last second to save their butts, save their lives, instead of the other way around. I love that. And he's the one that made them Rangers. And can I just say that moment where Devin and Zoe are freaking out over their Rangers, and Ravi immediately takes center stage. He's taking and he's cool with all this because he was done Blue Ranger. That's just, I found that a nice little thing to add on. Them getting used to their powers, of course, that was awesome. And I'm honestly okay with civilian powers. It adds a little bit more variety. And what about how they didn't technically beat their first bad guy? Like, it's a common stereotype in like Sentai and Power Rangers, even where they get their powers and immediately the big victory. Like, they beat their first monster for Sentai and Power Rangers. They get the summoned brand machine and robot. They take their first big victory and they feel proud of that. But this time we didn't get that. And I'm so, we didn't need that for this one. You just brought yourself forward, you used what you had around you, and you stalled for time, and you won through trickery, not through brute strength, not through ingenuity. You just won because you knew if you didn't, you were dead. It's simple, it's to the point, it's not a stereotype. I loved this fight scene so much, and the freaking ending where you see the giant outline of the Grid Battle Force symbol, easily the cherry on the cake.
So Blaze and Roxy's bodies are put into uh, medical beds, I guess. They're
Pods.
pods. Thank you. They're basically in a coma while their evil versions, their avatars, exist. Uh, Commander Shaw is not happy with how things developed, but is glad to know that things worked out and is willing to recruit Devin and Zoe as the official Red and Yellow Rangers, and the two of them accept. Uh, we also get the reveal that she's also Ravi's mother. So hey, a parent that actually supports their kid being a ranger. Uh,
Well, I'm not gonna say she actually supports, but it's in her interest to make a kid the ranger again. So that kind of, I don't know. That's fine. But yeah, I did like the ending. Like, how Commander Shaw was not phased at all that this happened. She's like, okay, this happened. Now we have to make do with what we have to make do with, and then she sent them to the battle simulation thing, and that's what Devon wanted, and he gets that, and I really enjoyed this ending. And also the avatar stuff, like the clones and sorry, the clone avatar thing, and Zoe and sorry, Roxy and Blaze being in coma. I was pretty like, and I really felt that Ravi's actor, he shined in that scene when he was doing alone, because the problem with the Blue Ranger here is that the red and the yellow have excitable personalities. Blue is very down to earth, so you don't get to see, you are distracted too much by the red and the yellow rangers to actually pay much attention to the blue one. So here we actually get to do that, which I think that it showed how what he can do compared to previous scenes, because I was too distracted by the red and the yellow ranger being very loud and robust personalities. And I think this is a really good story setup for all the Rangers. Actually, like they don't have to fight, they don't have to beat the evil to save the world kind of thing. There's also a tangible goal of saving Blaze and Roxy, and waking them up, which I like, compared to like every most seasons where there's always like, the good seasons of Power Rangers are there's always another goal uh, alongside saving the world. Like in Dino Thunder, there was Anton, Mercer, and Mesogog thing they had to sort out. In RPM, there was Dylan's sister. In SPD, there was like the characters themselves had their other hangups they had to deal with. Here we have saving Blaze and Roxy, which is another goal alongside the goal of them beating Evox, which I really like. And it's nice change of pace for a lot of compared to a lot of Ranger seasons where we have gotten recently, and I really do like that.
Yeah, I like the setup. Everyone has potential character development options. Devin with his father, Ravi with his girlfriend, Zoe with like proving herself. We have a goal. We know the villains are going to come back, so it's a very, very good setup. Also, I like the bit where like Devin's like, "Yay, I get to go to the battle simulator," and Commander Shaw just gives him a look as he leaves, like, "Yeah, you're gonna probably get your ass kicked." Because like karate for fun is not the same as being a Power Ranger. So I really like this end.
Maybe not, but it doesn't hurt. Yeah, I mean, what can I say that hasn't been said? Just, oh my god, the romance in episode 1 that Ninja Steel sucked at playing at for 40 episodes. Bravo on that front alone. I didn't think about the idea of giving Ravi a chance to shine in contrast to Devin and Zoe in general. Nice guy. And he deserved it, honestly. I want to get back about how Ravi addressing the rules felt more like a person and not through Grid Battle Force talking. And what I meant by that is when Commander Shaw is revealed to be Ravi's mother, for one, yes, I'm also very happy that they're related. Adds a lot more dynamics, and yes, it is a parent supporting a Power Ranger. I love that. But it's also the idea of now Ravi has a bit more of a personal stake in the rules. Because not only does he want to appeal to his commander and, to get her approval, but he also wants the approval from her as his mother. So that's probably hitting a bit of a personal kink in the armor where he wants to make his mom happy and, stick to the rules that she enforces through Grid Battle Force because it's his mom. He's not just gonna blindly follow her, but he has a lot of loyalty to her. But at the same time, now everything that's happening with Roxy, that's kind of butting heads a little bit with his logic. And to see this go forth in the series, I cannot wait. It's got so much going for it, and I really, really cannot wait to see. I love interacting with the three Rangers outside of battle because we didn't get much of that until the three established Rangers for the show. So to see that in its sliver now, I really liked. And hey, the foreshadowing with Devin in the simulator paid off. And yeah, he's probably gonna get his ass kicked, and it's probably gonna be hilarious. I can't wait. Oh my god, I have been talking my ear off all night.
You're really looking forward to this. Yeah, Ravi's flashback to him breaking up with Roxy was really good because uh, Devin and Zoe got screen time, focus, and character. Ravi didn't get that much because he was kind of put in towards the end. We got plenty during the fight, but this solidifies his humane side that doesn't have that Power Ranger stuff attached to it. And definitely sets up some really good character development for him later on. Ultimately, this is good. Hasbro produced Power Ranger season. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've looked forward to Power Rangers.
And it's funny that this is the same team that wrote Ninja Steel. And that kind of makes me that kind of actually confirms that Saban was the one who was met in Power Rangers stuff for
what were
the
they
past
doing?
few years.
What was Saban doing?
I don't know. They were being idiots.
It's been confirmed that by the writer, basically while writing Ninja Steel and and Megaforce and all. No, not Megaforce. Megaforce was Jonathan Zacher. While writing Ninja Steel, Saban was the one who told them to put more fart jokes and other stuff like that.
Because it's for the kids and for the kids only. Isn't that right?
Appeal to the audience. Make it relatable.
Have all the Rangers dab. That'll get more ratings.
How did you find me? That's for me to know and you to never find out.
Ultimate Brands just kind of sucked as a company in general, let's be honest. Toy sales were abysmal. The show was
How much money did they get for this?
It was a nightmare over there.
How much money did Saban sell it for?
$500 million.
Oh,
they needed that so they could shut down. Let's be honest.
I'm not even criticizing them at all. It's just funny because that's how much their net worth is now.
But yeah, and I that's the reason why I'm actually pretty excited for the Hasbro era, because we are getting one. It seems a Legacy War game, the phone game for Power Rangers, is pretty good. It's pretty good commercially. The new game that's coming out, the fighting game,
Battle for the Grid.
Battle for the Grid looks really promising, and the comics are fantastic.
As per usual.
As per usual, and and the show episode 1 at least is going well. I don't know whether the it's gonna continue. This thing is gonna continue forward. I have hope, but yeah, it. But I really hope that this season is good all the way through, which I would really like after a long time having a great Power Rangers season. Because I don't watch much Sentai, and Power Rangers being mediocre has kind of forced me to watch Sentai, and which I really don't want, because I'm more of a Power Rangers fan and I want to watch good Power Rangers. I don't have to shouldn't have to resort to Sentai to watch good entertainment, which I really want this Power Rangers season to be good, because
So the
And
Neo
if I may
Saban
add a
era
silver
was
lining,
really hard on you.
yeah, Neo Saban era was very hard on me. I mean, like we got Dino Charge, which is good. I mean, Supercharge was there's some episodes which are not Supercharged, but otherwise Supercharged was also decent. But the only great Power Rangers season we got in Neo Saban era was High, which was a D&D campaign, and that is telling something.
if
But
I
it's
may add a
canon,
silver
right?
lining though,
It is kind of canon, yeah.
if I could add a silver lining though, now that Hasbro's stable in Power Rangers, now talks with Hyper RPG can start up at some
Um,
point,
I haven't
maybe,
yet
sort of.
seen Hyperforce. I really
I
should.
know, but it's a good
uh,
year to be a Power Rangers fan. If any indication, let's have some hope.
the problem with Hyperforce is that Yoshi and Peter have got expensive actors.
I know.
Did you say offensive actors or busy actors?
Expensive and busy.
Okay.
So
Expensive and
basic,
busy, yeah.
Peter's the
yeah,
one that made the damn system.
yeah, they are the ones who made the damn system, but still they became expensive to hire for Hyperforce. Yeah, great actually. Yeah, because the Dino Charge Blue Ranger or Yoshi has been getting a lot of acting jobs and all in Indonesian movies and in Hollywood, and Peter has been like a regular, I think a semi-regular cast member on a TV show now. So yeah,
Well, a girl can dream.
yeah, so can I, but I really want Hyperforce season 2.
Hashtag.
Bring back Hyperforce, I guess. Okay. Other than that, I'm really excited for this season, and I'm really glad what Hasbro is gonna do for Power Rangers, because the toys also have been great, and I'm really excited to buy the Doggy Kruger Lightning Collection figure. Not sponsored by Hasbro.
Uh, Henshin, go. Final thoughts.
Really, really good episode. I'm looking forward to this season. Really hoping that it keeps up the level of great and we get a really good season, because it seems the fans need one. It's been a while.
If the 20 minutes total I've spent talking about how much I adore this episode is any indication, yeah, I've got high hopes.
It's adorable that you
I
think
don't
you were
care
only
if
talking for 20 minutes.
it...
I'm sorry.
Well, point is, yes, I love this episode. I am getting high hopes for the season. I don't care if it's too naive to think that. I want to see what comes next, and I will be there when it does. It is a good year to be a Ranger fan. Right.
Honestly, this was a really solid first episode. Like, it foreshadows the characters becoming Rangers well. It handles the fight scenes really well with its own unique footage. Like, the characters have depth to them. I'm actually like really looking forward to Power Rangers Beast Morphers, and I hope you all are too. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. We'll be back on Tuesday for the finale of Super Sentai Psycho Battle, the last of the miniseries before Ryu Soldier starts. Wednesday for more Kamen Rider Zeo, and we're going to look at doing this again next Thursday for more Beast Morphers. See you next time.
Yay!
Bye bye.
Bye.
Later, taters, and I'll see you on the grid.